I started up in Canada, where the mountains scrape the sky. Pines that whisper stories as the northern winds roll by. The lakes were cold and endless, the prairies wide and still, and the quiet of the wilderness moved deeper than my will. Then I crossed into Montana, big sky stretching far and wide. The Rockies stood like giants with a rough and rugged pride. Nevada felt like starlight, desert roads that never end, and the neon glow of Vegas felt like lightning in my hands. The echoes cross the Americas, every highway sings a tune, from the northern lights of winter to the southern sun at noon. Every mile has its memory, every road its own command, and I'm learning who I am across this wild and open land. Texas burned like fire with a heat that shook the ground. Barbecue and back roads, every night a different sound. Louisiana's rivers move like stories in the dark, and the jazz of old New Orleans lit a rhythm in my heart. Mexico felt vibrant with a spirit bold and bright. Mariachi in the plazas, colored flags in morning light. The beaches kissed the ocean, the deserts held their breath, and the soul of ancient temples felt alive beyond their death. The echoes cross the Americas, every border shifts the view, from the canyons carved by ages to the skies of endless blue. Every land has its heartbeat, every soul its own command, and I'm finding pieces of myself across this wild and open land. Brought rhythm, mountains rising through the haze, cities full of color, nights that stretch for days. The coffee fields were golden, the air was warm and sweet, and the music in the markets kept my heart beating its beat. Felt ancient, sacred, with the Andes standing tall. Ruins full of whispers from a time before us all. Chile stretched like fire from the desert to the snow, and the ocean on its coastline moved with power in its flow. The echoes cross the Americas, every border shapes a soul, from the markets down in Lima to the storms of Tierra del Fuego. Every land has its meaning, every mile its own command, and I'm carried by the stories of this wild and open land. I've crossed through dust and thunder, I've driven through the rain, I've learned that every culture holds a joy behind its pain. We're different in our colors, in our music, in our ways, but the heart of every nation beats the same on quiet days. Argentina felt like passion with a fire in every street. Tango in the moonlight, voices bold and bittersweet. The pampas rolled forever, open, wild and grand, and I felt the world grow quiet in that wide and endless land. They go across the Americas. Every highway tells a tale, from the northern pines of Canada to the southern ocean's gate. Every land has its spirit, every road its own command, and I'm leaving pieces of my soul across this wild and open land.